Yo, what is going on, guys? Good to be back here for another live lesson. I know we got a whole bunch of cool stuff going on, guys. I want to thank IK Multimedia for having me back and for hooking me up with all this cool gear. We got AmpliTube in the corner. If you haven't checked that out, it's a virtual guitar amp, right? It's like a plug-in. It works with any DAW, and it sounds absolutely awesome. Super clear tone. You're gonna be checking some of that out today, and we're also bringing you this broadcast through the iRig stream, right? This is gonna help you live stream through anything. Right now, we're live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and all these fun places through a couple of the different softwares you can download. But this is the main component that is helping us do all that. Check this out if you are into the live stream game, right? The new world, this is how it's going to be. We're going to be live streaming all the time, right? I believe we are giving away more stuff. Let me check real quick. We giving away more stuff? We ain't giving nothing away today. Today is all about the funk. I'm giving away lessons today. Last week we gave away AmpliTube 4. So if you guys dig the lessons, come back, because we do giveaways all the time where we give out different gear or different programs for people who are into the lessons and are regular students. Today is all about the funk. We're going to talk about strumming in general at first, just so we can figure that out, so it's not like such a big jump into the 16th notes, right? We're going to talk about strumming, and then towards the middle, or whatever, the funk. Funk strumming is the main thing we're going to work on. I busted out my Strat today, and I got my, if you look over here in AmpliTube, I actually have it written on there, Strat Funk. That's what's great about this program. You can save, like, I don't even know how many. Right now I have like 8 different amp setups all saved in there. Right? And you just go through them. It's crazy. And we're going to talk about maybe some things you can do with your tone too when you're playing this kind of funk stuff. We're going to avoid like too much reverb. I'm actually going to check my program here, make sure I don't got too much reverb on there. I'm going to dial that back even more. You want slim to no reverb, because we're going to be doing a lot of strumming, and with the reverb and all these different syncopations, the syncopation is what's going to make it move. So you don't want to muddy up where it's going to be, right? So we're gonna take most of the reverb off our tone. I got my Strat here. We're going to be getting like that old kind of chunky sound. And we're going to talk about some things we can do with like the inversions too, to help accent certain things. Because when we're playing funk, there's a good chance you're sitting on one chord holding down rhythm. Your guitar becomes less of a melodic instrument. It becomes more like almost like a drum, right? That old great James Brown quote, "Everything is a drum," right? And we're really going to play the guitar like a drum today. Oh, we are giving away AmpliTube 4 at the end of the lesson. Excuse me. We need to answer the question. I'm so sorry. Sorry I confused everybody. I didn't see it on the thumbnail, so I didn't think we were giving it away today. So sorry about that, confused guys. We are giving away some fun stuff today. We're giving away the end of the episode, and I'm going to give out a question at the end of the episode. So right about 4:30, I'm going to give you a question. Right, and we need your IK account and the answer to the actual question. All right, guys? And I can't give it out to you now because then you won't hang out for the lesson. I need to see what you're doing. No, we're going to have some fun. All right, so let's talk about strumming in general here. AmpliTube 4 Deluxe. Ooh, we're giving out the AmpliTube 4 Deluxe. These guys are going in today. I ain't worried about it. Just giving all this stuff away. All right, cool. So we're going to talk about strumming and how to strum. What's going on from Italy? Hope you guys are doing good over there. I know we've taken your place with all the COVID stuff. You guys were having a hard time, and now it's us over here in the U.S. All right, guys. So let's talk about strumming real quick. we're going to talk about eighth note strumming because that's going to help us with our 16th note strumming. So when you're strumming the guitar, when you have an eighth note rhythm, let's just say we got 1, 2, and 3, 4. Just some really basic rhythm, right? You're going to want to play the 1, 2, and on the upbeat. So we're going to have this. I'm going to pick myself up just a little bit so you can see my hands a little more. You know what? I'm actually going to switch chairs here. Get a little bit cleaner shot here for you guys. Because the right hand is super important. It really, today is all about the right hand. Oh, now you can see it real good. Perfect. So the right hand is what we're really focusing on. When we're strumming those eighth notes, right? The up strum is on the and. So 1, 2, and 3, 4, right? And we have this eighth note feel in our hand, right? Funk, right? The more, or like the bands like Tower Power or Earth, Wind and Fire or James Brown when he took a lot of the horns out of his band, the guitar took a bigger role. All Parliament Funkadelic, Sly and the Family Stone, all their guitar players use this kind of 16th note technique. So now the and is actually going to be a downbeat. So we're going 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a, and the E and the are now our upbeats, right? So that's the biggest thing. Like we're going to really be working on is really to get really consistent with these different rhythms and keeping that 16th note feel there the whole time, right? That's what gives that funk guitar that really cool sound, that really cool effect. Oh, we got a question. What question? We got a question. What question? Hey, Jet. What's going on, dude? Thanks for stopping in, Mr. Sebastian. Nile Rogers. There you go. There you go. Yeah. So let's dig into the 16th note stuff now. Sorry, I was reading some stuff people as they were coming in. I like to interact with you guys as you come in, so this isn't just me talking to myself the whole time, So let's talk about some 16th note stuff. We're gonna do like the same rhythm we just did, the 1, but instead of eighth notes there, we're now gonna do 16th notes. So let's just do that. 1. Let's do that. So 1, 2, 3. Right? So we can go 1 and a 1 and a 2 and a as you see, I kept the 16th note thing going the whole time. 1, 2, right? So that chunk that you hear, that's what really keeps it moving, that 16th note feel. And, we're playing funk, and sometimes we get like a swung 16th, but in most situations where you're doing stuff like this, you're not. We're doing even 16ths throughout the whole thing, right? And that's what gives it that like really cool, chunky sound when you're going through it. So 1, 2, 3. Right? You're going to hear me counting a lot today because we're going to be doing some stuff with some cool syncopation, some cool rhythms. And, anytime you're working through these rhythms, right? Count. I'm always telling my students, whether you're working on your sight reading or whatever, the best way to understand rhythm is to count rhythm, right? Oh my God, this way is better. A little more this way, right? Okie dokie. Right, so we're going to be counting some cool rhythms, and we're also going to be talking about some ways that we can spice up maybe something that is very open. You're going to have some funk songs that are like really just one chord almost the whole time. What was that really cool Maceo tune we used to do big every day? Shake Everything You Got. right? We used to do this cool Maceo tune called Shake Everything You Got. Maceo Parker, if you don't know him, he's awesome. He used to play with James Brown. He was his original, I think he's a tenor player. Yeah, original tenor? Yeah. Someone can answer that question. It was Maceo an alto or tenor player? That would help me out. What pick do I use? I use a pretty small pick, actually, because I go back and forth between funk and jazz. These are like my two favorite genres, really, funk and jazz, and R&B too. But I use the jazz threes, the real small one, and small and hard. And it gives you a good raking sound, actually. But it gives you a nice chunky sound. Right? Gives you a nice chunky sound. We're going to keep that pick going through the whole thing. And that's what's going to give us that really cool, like, traditional funk sound. If we had a wah, I was actually going to hook up the wah, but I was working on some of the different notation stuff I wanted to make sure we were able to use. That's how they get that shaft sound. Yeah. There are some guys who use thinner picks, I guess, but I really prefer this because it really gets it gets a really fat chunk sound because it doesn't bend at all, right? These picks are pretty thick, so it gets like a really nice thick tone. You don't hear the pick giving at all, right? And I think you can kind of hear it with the lighter picks or the thinner picks. You can hear it giving a little bit. So the other thing we can do to funk up something that's maybe going to be one or just two chords. There's a lot of funk tunes that are just a couple of changes. There's a ton of them that are just, that... Right, some like Funky Herbie tunes even, right? I've definitely heard some guys do that, like old school kind of funk stuff on like Chameleon or like all the Headhunters tunes and even the stuff off Thrust. I've heard some people add some real funky stuff to it. Yeah, but let's talk about some inversions we can throw in there, and then we're going to get back to the syncopations, and I got some cool examples from, I got a Tower of Power Rhythm. Sorry, I can't talk today. Tower of Power Rhythm we're going to check out from Soul Vaccination. Absolutely love that tune. If you don't know that band, go check them out. That's the other thing I love to do with my students is just show them some different music they maybe wouldn't hear otherwise, because it's not something that's necessarily on the radio. There's a ton of great music out there, and sometimes you got to have people show it to you. Sometimes it's really hard to find if it's not like a genre that they're just pushing out on the radio. But now we got all this Spotify stuff, Spotify and Apple Music and all this stuff. You just put a name in there, you can go nuts. You got like all their stuff. So take advantage and go check out some funk bands. All right, so we're gonna talk about the inversions, right? So we have we're gonna pretty much do everything over this D9 today. And you're gonna learn some funk tunes. You'll be like, wow, there's a lot of funk tunes that are just a 9 chord. So this is gonna come in handy. We're going to use some of the inversions, right? You can use the actual 9 inversions, or you can use the 7th inversions, and we can put different extensions on them. I think it might be Sex Machine from James Brown that has it. Right? So that's a cool thing we can do. We're going to use inversions and extensions to get some cool different sounds. Can you explain the chords you are playing now? Awesome. Yes, I definitely can explain the chords that I'm playing. Are you using a compressor? It works with this. Yes, I am actually. We can go over both those things. Great. Get on up. That's a good one for sure. Get down, right? Get on up, get down. There you go. All right, so I'm going to we're going to go through both these questions. I am using a compressor. I'll actually show you here on AmpliTube here. What's great about this program is you can add so much cool stuff. So I've taken off a ton of reverb. There's almost slim to no reverb on this thing. Oh, I'm clicking the wrong thing, excuse me. and I'm going to my stomp, and I do have a compressor on, and that's going to make it sound a lot more even. I think I have like what is this, like a little echo here, very slight, hardly even on. Really, it's barely even on. You can even probably turn that off, but I thought it actually sounded pretty good. You really don't want to put too much. You really want to avoid delay and reverb, because you want to have that super like tight sound. So this way the syncopations really pop through and it doesn't get all muddy. Right? So that's the first thing. Right? So I am using a compressor, and it's definitely good for this style of music. I know there's a lot of actually happening new funk bands too. If you like Lettuce or Wolfpack, and they all do this kind of stuff. I know the Flyers, it's like another offshoot of them. Or I've recently found this guitar player, Corey Wong, who I think he also plays with Wolfpack, but he does really cool, tight 16th note syncopation stuff. It's really fun. Check those guys out too, you know. Let me go back to this chat. Can I explain the chords? Let's go over some of these chords, right? So, where are we at here? Sorry, I'm trying to find your question. Try not to breeze over any of these questions, guys. Sorry. So, the chords, right? We were kind of getting deeper into that. The chords here, right? So, we have something stagnant. And you'll see stuff that will be written stagnant, but guys will put in slides. It's kind of like using the blue note with the blues scale, right? It sounds good if you're not like landing on it really hard or holding it out. If you're just using it to like just slide into it, right? And you can also go above. Right? Also do it from above too. And the other thing I was doing, like I was showing you guys, I'm using extensions here. Like I was throwing the 13 on my 9 chord, right? Right, so that's going to be B. I'm going to throw my B on top of that. The other thing that you can do is go through some of the inversions. I was using some of the 9 inversions. Right, so you can do some of those cool 9 inversions. Right, so all that kind of fun stuff. Yeah. So that's a good way to really get into how to get started here with these different the inversions help a ton. Even just that sounded cool. That was just straight up the inversions. Right, and I'm using those inversions and I'm really, what I'm really listening for is that top note, right? Because that's what the listener's really going to hear. And of course, like any other thing you do, it really depends on the situation you're in, right? You don't want to be that guy who's just doing too much all the time, right? Especially with this sort of stuff, if you have a written part, it's probably written for a reason. Funk music, Latin music, have a great deal of like rhythms that work together, right? They'll have rhythms that counteract. And we're actually going to talk about that with like how we build some of these like cool rhythms if we were going to build them on our own, right? Some things you would want to avoid. And again, everything is held up to a standard. You learn this in jazz too. Everything is held up to this. If it sounds good, it sounds good. But there are some basic things that I've noticed from years of playing this stuff that tend to help the beat move or help it not sound so stuck on the one, right? If you ever, checked out James Brown, he's got documentaries all over the place. I mean, he's got like the ones that were really made, but he used to talk about with Bootsy Collins, the big one. You go, the big one. So what sounds good is since the one is already going to be accented really hard by the bass and by probably the drums as well with that big bass drum and probably a crash every once in a while, it's great to get off that. See, I start on the upbeat. I start on the end. Right? Really like Lettuce. Yeah, dude. Love Lettuce. They're a great band, man. I was practically in a Lettuce cover band growing up, man. We were doing like all their tunes. Lettuce is awesome. Lettuce, and I used to love Soul Live too. They're another great band, another great group of musicians doing that funk stuff in their own different way. But cool. So I brought some fun example rhythm. Fun example. Am I saying this right? Yes. Fun example rhythms. Sorry, dude, I can't speak. I'm gonna pull them up for you here. I'm gonna AmpliTube. Goodbye. And hello. Chart. Oh, did I not do it? Whoops. Let me see here. Oh no. Ryan, I may have messed it up, my man. I just had it working perfect. Maybe I needed it there. There we go. So sorry, guys. As awesome as these guys are at IK, they can't account for how stupid I am. There we go. Now I got it. Sorry. They do a great job. I'm sitting here trying to just figure out these things as I go here. Awesome. So here's some fun example. Whoa, you can see my mouse in the thing too. There we go. Some fun example rhythms we're going to check out. The first one up here, right, if you look, they're really not playing much on the downbeat at all except for beat 4 right here. This is a rhythm from Soul Vaccination by Earth, Wind & Fire. The other rhythms are ones that I just kind of came up with that I've used in the past I thought were really good. But these are some great examples. And if you look, most of them don't start on the downbeat, right? We have two of them that do here, but for the most part, we're really accenting upbeats here. So there we have the E of 1. This is the downbeat, and then we have 3 and. Right, and so counting these rhythms is going to help. So this would be like, so we have E, and then 4 E and, right? Some different cool things we're going to work on. So I'm going to give you some examples here. Let me see if we have any questions. I know I'm doing a lot of stuff here today. Good vibes. Real music reading. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you know what, man? Like, I'm not the greatest sight reader, but learning to read music and practicing your sight reading is something you should really keep doing, and because it just makes your rhythm so much tighter. Like everything you play, just like it is so much more solid. Like you really know exactly what it is. So we're gonna go play some of these rhythms. We're gonna check it out, and you see here. Well, let me see. Actually, you see that mouse. So as you see here, they actually are using that. Going backwards sort of thing with the chord, right? Like I talked about earlier. So let's try this rhythm. Right? So it's 2 and 3 and 4. as you see here, I got a repeat sign. So we're going to repeat that 3 times, and then we're going to go to this rhythm. This is another very common thing in funk. They'll have like a form like that, right? Where the pattern will repeat a couple times, and then on the 4th time, it'll make a change. Or if they really got a pattern they want to drag out, they'll repeat it 7 times, and then that 8th measure, then they'll change it, right? So the second part is 1, 2, 3, 4. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So and they're actually using the inversion thing there too. Let me move this down here a little bit so you can see my hand. So that first rhythm, I'll leave it there so you can see it. 1, 2. We're doing the second half. 2, 3, 4. Right? So that's the second half. And when you put it all together, it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. I'm messing this up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So they're changing it on the 4th one. Sorry, I should have practiced that rhythm a little bit more. That one's a little tricky for sure. Just checking out the chat. We got a bunch of cool stuff. Yeah, that one is a little tricky, but that's definitely a cool one. So check that one out. That's Tower of Power, Soul Vaccination. Oh, I'm having a hard time grabbing the right thing here. What's going on? There we go. All right. Right, and then the next one we have starts on the E, right? So 1, right? So count it as you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. So that's 1. So 1 E, 2, 3 E and O. And that's actually, those are straight. 1, so 1, 1, 3, 4. There it is. So that's the second one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so that's that second one. So 1 E, 2, 3 E and of, 4, 1 and 2 and 3. So 1, 2, 3 and of, 4. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, accenting on the upbeats, really keeping that 16th note driving it the whole time. Keeping it really driving it the whole time. That's what you really want to do. Thank you guys so much. How to make funk riffs. We can talk about that a little bit. This is more about the strumming. We're going to talk about how to build some funk riffs. And if you know about the big one, we're going to talk about that too. Oh, by the way, it is time for us to give out that answer, that question and answer for the AmpliTube here. Let me get this out of there. There we go. It is time for the question and answer. So the question is going to be... Oh, okay, just making sure they didn't give it away on me. All right. So the question is going to be, what is your favorite funk band and one of their tunes? Send us your favorite funk band, one of their tunes, and then your IK Multimedia accounts, right? Your username and accounts. So if you want that AmpliTube 4 Deluxe, that's what we're giving away today. I need your favorite funk band, one of their tunes, and then your IK account. All right, we're gonna keep it going, and then Ryan's gonna let me know when we have a winner, and we will go from there. Sweet. All right. So let's check out this second to last one. This is a 1-bar phrase. The last two we've had are 2-bar phrases. This is a 1-bar phrase. So this one is using the downbeat of 1. So 2, 3. Let me check this out. There it is. So this one's 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. So I'm using down, up, up. So down, up, 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 down, up, down, up, 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 down, up. Right? So that's another good rhythm. And again, we're using that 16th note strum. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit so you can see my hands again. Actually, we're just going to make the chart disappear down. 2, 3, 4. Right, so you want to keep your rhythms as consistent as can be. That's the biggest thing with funk, keeping the rhythm consistent, right? So let's check out this last one, right? And we're gonna do it just as written. So this one's using the downbeat, and we're starting with the. So you're gonna have 2 downstrokes. So down, down. So going 1 and 2, 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 right? That's a really cool rhythm too. And we're gonna go back to some of the examples using that Tower of Power rhythm. We're going to go back to that one and touch on that one a little bit more. And we're going to talk about some cool things that they're doing there. So that rhythm again, the first Tower of Power one is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That one's a little tricky. So 1 E and up, 2 E. Right, so that's the rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing with my hands here. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. We'll leave it there so you can see it. Just making sure we got any questions here. Got a lot of cool Sly and the Family Stone, some good stuff here. Red Hot Chili Peppers, only if it's off that first album, that Blood Sugar Sex Magic one. That one's got some funky tunes. Got Funky Monks on there. Ain't really a band. Yeah, Rick James, baby. Down. Yeah, Mary Jane. That's another one that's mostly just 2 chords almost the whole time. Then it's got an intro and a little bridge, but it's mostly just 2/5 the whole time, and you can really get off on some of the cool rhythms they got there. So I'm gonna go over this rhythm one more time, and I think Ryan is gonna shoot me over who won here, who our grandiose winner is. All right, and in the meantime, we're gonna go over this how to use this. So they're using this triad. We're using this triad in this one. So it's all right. Ryan went with the classic. Ryan went with the classic James Brown Sex Machine. User Amitra. I am definitely not saying that right. Oh, here we go. Fabio Matera. Here we go. I can say that. Fabio Matera. There we go. I know how to say that one. So Fabio Matera, you are the winner today. Thank you guys so much for coming and checking it out. We're going to go over this for just one more little bit, and then I'm going to end it. We're going to get out of it. Fabio, I hope you enjoy that and dig into it and have a lot of fun. Guys, we give away stuff here pretty much every week. So if you didn't win it this week, please come back. We're always giving out stuff. We're always having fun. We're going to go over this one just a little bit longer, and then we're going to go ahead and end it. So let's talk about this real quick, right? So we're using this triad, and we're using that technique of shifting. Right? Right? So that's that technique of shifting is what they're using there, and they're also using that inversion up there. So we went over a ton of cool stuff today. We gave away some stuff. I'm going to be back next week for another lesson. I think next week we're going to be talking about the cage system, how that works, how you can easily glide through them all and get those positions down so we can start using them. I hope you've had a lot of fun. I know I have. Funk and this kind of strumming is so fun. You gotta get the rhythm in your head sometime, though, man. Right? Thank you guys so much for coming and checking us out. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. 4 o'clock. Take care, everybody.